Hello, hello. Is this thing on? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. Once again, live on Twitch. It's Saturday night. And welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. Once again, you're tuned in to Bose 831 Gaming live on Twitch. And you're tuned in to another episode of Bose 831 Gaming playing Farming Simulator 25. You're tuned into my Twitch live stream series for Farming Simulator 25 Platinum Edition. Farming Simulator 25. Having a flashback to my Farming Simulator 22 series. But anywho, welcome to the channel, welcome to the channel, welcome to the stream. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day, night, or whatever it is in your neck of the woods or in your part of the world. Just jumping right into it. First of all, just a little setup. If this is your first time jumping into my content, Farming Simulator 25 is the latest edition of the Farming Simulator series. It was released a week ago on earlier this week on November the 12th, this past Tuesday. And this is my second episode of my Twitch live stream series as we delve into this game for the first time. Off camera, I'm just going to go ahead and put that out put this out here. I have been doing a little bit of testing off camera with the game, but really, for the most part, I'm coming into this game fresh. I haven't done a whole lot of testing or a whole lot of playing of the game outside of what you're seeing here live. So things that we encounter tonight and probably in the first few episodes of the series are going to be happening in real time most of the time. As I'm on this Twitch live stream series, a lot of what I do here is live and unedited, so you're getting it raw and uncensored, if you will. First thing I want to do is I need to jump back out of the game because I installed a couple of mods and I'm still kind of learning the new menus, button mapping, and what have you here. And on this downloadable content screen, I wanted to select all the mods that I have available and in the downloadable content screen, but I noticed when there's no select all screen, there's a deselect all, but you can go and do that, and that's how you get the select all. So so that's how we got to do it for future reference. If you install new mods and when you come into the screen for the first time after installing new mods, you want to come here before you start the game and press A to do start. You want to do deselect all and then select all, and that will highlight all the mods, including the ones that you recently installed. And another key you'll see is up in the upper right corner of the screen here. You got a number. It shows 15 of 15, so that means you selected all of the available mods. You have 15 possibly available, and you're installing all 15. And if that holds true, like if we go deselect all, and then we come back up and select one thing with X, then it shows 1 of 15. Now if we do deselect all, we go back to 0. If we do select all, it goes back to all the 15 available that I have in downloadable content that I haven't downloaded into the game. Alright, so now I think we're ready. We're going to go ahead and start and jump back into the game again. Notice on the load screen it shows you the name of your game save file, what map you're on, your bank balance, and I think the 0146 is how many hours we played on that particular map so far. And that's pretty cool. Once the modders start getting into this game and we start getting more content from the modders, I know they're going to probably do a lot of things with this screen. It's still pretty cool. Alright, so we're at 100%. We can go ahead and hit A to start. And now we're back in it. I know it's kind of like a little deja vu. Alright, so I was thinking about what I wanted to do tonight primarily. Where's um, just kind of work some contracts, kind of get our bank balance up, and then I figured out there I was wanting to go and play through all of the available tutorials, but I don't think I'll continue on that path for right now, although that was my original intent. But I don't even know, because I did want to kind of showcase the NPCs that are in the game, but I don't even know where they're located at on the map, really. I don't think they're marked out. Oh yeah, okay, I guess there's Noah. I don't know who Noah is. What does Noah do? Okay, so they are marked on the map. This is Katie, is another NPC, and we're located here, and we're near Walter. And who do we have over here? That's Ben. We've talked to Ben. We've talked to Walter. So is that all of them? I just want to see. I guess we will just kind of go through and hit them just to show off what they might have to say and kind of walk through whatever tutorials they have. So we also have a David here on the map. Is David the only other guy? Looks that way. So we want to talk to who's the nearest available NPC that we haven't talked to. We're here. So let's go visit. Let's visit Katie. Alright, so this is Katie. She's at what appears to be the animal dealer, but we'll see. Yeah, this looks to be the animal dealer. So let's talk to Katie and see what she has to say. So we're going to press L to start a conversation.
You're Walter's grandkid, aren't you? I'm Katie. Nice to meet you.
Alright, so nice to meet you, Katie.
Town. As I just said, I'm Katie. I took over my parents' farm 4 years ago, continuing the family business after traveling the world as one does. But I'll tell you all about that another time. So what can I do for you? That's good.
Alright.
I specialize in livestock. We got chickens, cows, sheep, pigs, horses, even bees. Also our recent additions, goats and water buffaloes. It's quite an eclectic ensemble of creatures, if I can say so myself. If you want to dip your toes into animal husbandry, come to me. I'm not only dealing with the livestock, I can also give you important advice. I've been working with animals all my life, you see. Even when traveling the world, I occupied myself with the local fauna. And I collected some stories on the way, if you're interested sometime. That and some myths and legends. Maybe I should start a podcast. Anyway, I'm sure you and I have got stuff to do, animals to feed and so on. So don't let me keep you. I'm sure we'll have time to talk again.
Alright, so basically she's the NPC that would give you your tutorials on the animal husbandry, but let's kind of step through it just to see what she wants to tell you. Alright, I'm gonna start with asking the question, can I help you with something?
Appreciate your help.
Okay, so you can also get contracts through her, apparently, huh?
Mowing is so satisfying, but I'm generous and let you do it. Use your own machines or rent them. The payment is slightly reduced if you borrow them, though. How do you want to do it?
Okay, so we can go through her to get mowing contracts. I don't want to do that right now. Okay, so let's do I need help with animal husbandry.
Where do you have issues?
Alright, so we'll select beekeeping. Okay, let's start with how do I feed the bees?
You don't need to feed your bees, as bees feed off pollen. Just place your hive next to flowers. But there is a trick to the whole beekeeping stuff. If you have a beehive, place it next to a field of canola, sunflowers, or potatoes, and the yield of your next harvest will increase. Bees are quite different from your usual farm animals. You don't buy one bee like you would with a cow. You buy beehives with the whole colony. If you're a stickler and want to buy only a specific number of bees, you can count them yourself and put them into the hive with your bare hands. Place the hives and a pallet station somewhere on your farm and enjoy the fruits of their labor when you're done. Beekeeping is quite easy. After you've got yourself a beehive with a colony, you only need a tractor with a front loader attacher and a pallet fork. Use the pallet fork to transport the honey. Oh, and you need a pallet station. With buying a beehive, you get our special package. This includes a lifelong service of honey extraction. So one of our workers will extract the honey from your hives and place the honey on your pallet station. You do not need to do anything, and it is completely free of charge. Aren't you lucky? One of the many great things about bees is the little buzzers will increase the yield of certain crops. For example, the yield of sunflowers, potatoes, and canola will increase if hives are placed in the vicinity of the fields. As for the pallet station to collect the honey, place it wherever it fits your farm layout.
Okay, that's kind of cool, man. You get the little interactive tutorials for some of the game mechanics, so I kind of like that. Let's do one more just to kind of, a good measure, just kind of step through it. I'm not going to step through all of them. Well, actually, let's do this one here, because this is one that a lot of people new to the game have a lot of trouble with. I know I did in previous versions of the games before I really came to a full understanding of how silage and TMR actually work. Let's start with this. What is silage and how do I produce it?
Silage is a valuable feed that is preserved by fermentation. It cannot be directly grown on fields, but it can be made with grass or chaff. Chaff is made with a variety of crops, such as corn, wheat, barley, oat, sorghum, canola, soybeans, and sunflowers. If you decide to produce silage yourself, you may need additional equipment. When using grass, you need the equipment to cut down grass, a baler and bale wrapper. Press your mowed grass into packed bales and let those ferment. When using chaff, you definitely need some space, and of course a bunker silo. Then you should get yourself a forage harvester with a fitting header. Optionally, you can get a leveler attachment to even out the plant material while driving over it. Just harvest the crops before they reach maturity with a forage harvester. Unload the plant matter into a bunker silo, compress it, and let it ferment. Voila! That's how you make sauerkraut. Wait, silage and chaff.
Alright, what is TMR or how do I produce it?
TMR is a high-quality food used to feed cattle. It is made with hay, silage, straw, and mineral feed. You can produce almost all ingredients yourself or buy them. To produce TMR, you need a forage mixer wagon to mix all the ingredients. Just fill in the right amount into your mixer and start mixing. And that's how you get wonderfully nutritious food for your cattle.
Alright, and I haven't done any testing in Farming Simulator 25 with mixing TMR, so I don't know if anything's changed from Farming Simulator 22. But that's something we may get into shortly. Alright, so that's really all I need from this NPC at this time. We could talk to her about I guess we'll go ahead and do a couple more things real quick, because there's a couple of things we do want to touch on.
Where do you have issues?
As well, since we're familiar with some of the old animals, but we got some new animals in the game. We have the water buffaloes and we have the goats. Let's see what she says about the new animals, the goats first.
Feeding goats is quite simple. They like hay or grass. That's it. Just unload it at the feeding area of your barn or pasture. If you are growing grass on your fields, you can feed them fresh grass during the summer. And for the cold winter months, you can use hay. Goats are quite rewarding animals to keep. They produce goat milk. Oh, and they are very fluffy. Goats need a pasture or a barn. Choose the size of the housing, depending on how much you'd like to spend and how many goats you want to keep. You need to deliver fresh water to your goat pasture, as it has no access to water. So after placing one of the pastures or barns, you can shape the area of the outdoor enclosure. If you need slurry or manure, you can keep pigs or cows, as goats don't produce any.
Alright, so what
Like I
equipment do I
said,
need?
you definitely want a pasture or barn, as you don't want those hungry fellows to decimate your hard work. First, you get yourself a tractor with a front loader attachment and a bale spike to deliver bales to the barn, as you need those to feed your woolly friends. If you got yourself a goat pasture, you need a tank for refilling the watering place. If you don't want to use my delivery service, you should buy a transporter. If you buy a large one, you might need a dolly to use it with a tractor. Otherwise, you need a truck. Should you choose to process your milk into dairy products, you'll need a tank for transportation. That is all. It doesn't sound so bad, right?
Complete with corny jokes. I like it. Alright, so we go back to the menu. We know how chickens work for the most part, just figuring out what the new game mechanics are in 25. Same for the cows, horses, pigs. We know sheep, we know. And water buffaloes work just like the cows, I'm assuming.
You can
Would I
feed your
feed
water
water buffaloes?
buffaloes with grass, hay,
Yep.
or TMR. To keep your water buffaloes healthy and increase productivity, you shouldn't only feed them hay or grass. I've had the best results with TMR. If your farm relies heavily on milk production, especially in winter, you should always prepare enough quality food for them so they can be as productive as possible. Water buffaloes, like all your animals, need a pasture or barn, depending on how much you'd like to spend and how many water buffaloes you want to keep. If you want to produce slurry or manure, you need at least a cow barn to collect it. You need to deliver fresh water to your pasture, as it has no access to water. After placing one of the pastures or barns, you can shape the area of the outdoor enclosure. Water buffaloes are mainly used to produce milk. They start producing it at the age of 18 months. You can, of course, also keep them for breeding and selling for a profit. Reproduction also begins at the age of 18 months. Well,
Alright,
you
what
definitely want a
equipment do I
pasture or
need?
barn. Water buffaloes on your fields are not good for your yield. If you have laid straw in the barn, the water buffaloes will produce manure, and that must be stored. Get yourself a manure heap. Water buffaloes produce slurry too. It's collected in the liquid manure tank. If you want to spread manure and slurry on your fields, you need to buy a spreader and tank for each of the brown goods. Get yourself a tractor with a front loader attachment and a bale spike to deliver bales to the barn, as you need those to feed the water buffaloes. Then you should get yourself a tank to transport milk and water.
Alright, that's enough for her tutorials, but you get a basic idea of the menus with her. So let's back out of her altogether. Let's go back to the, I think it's this view here, and so that's one NPC, one of the new NPCs we talked to. I think there was two more we identified. There was one, or this way I thought. It was back up here. This guy here. Let's see what he's talking about. This was David, so we're going to visit David. I don't think we've talked to David yet, did we?
Hey there, neighbor. If it is not nice to meet you, I don't know what is. I'm David. Call me Dave if you want to. Welcome to the neighborhood. Saw you moving in the other day. I'm new here too. I came here almost 2 years ago, so I'm still a newbie in the eyes of the townfolk, and probably will be for a long time. Especially since I don't have a farming background and came from the city. Did something completely different before. What brings you here, buddy?
Alright, we'll select I'm taking over the family business from my grandfather.
Pops is your grandpa? Awesome. I love him. I think we're gonna be on good terms, friend. Let's talk some more and get to know each other when you're settled in. I bet we can help each other out here and there. I'll definitely tell you about all the mistakes I made so far, hoping you don't hear about them from the others first, if it's not too late. But more importantly, so you don't make the same mistakes. Let your grandpa be disappointed in me instead of you. Also, you want to avoid tauntingly being stared at by our local lumberjack, Noah. I swear his sharp stare while shaking his head can fell a tree. So, feel free to come by and chat me up anytime, buddy. I'll take some time for you. If I don't, I'm busy. But that doesn't mean I don't love you anymore. Got it? Already do.
That's interesting. Alright, so next up, let's go back to him and see what he says when you come back to him. So it's just, this is another source of contracts.
What happened the other day? Have you noticed how fast weeds can appear in your field? I have to be honest, I'm still lacking the eye for detail for many things in farming. Nah, not detail. I'm just careless, let's call it how it is. I thought I'd have enough time to get out the weeder to get rid of the weeds the good old mechanical way. Sometimes, I let myself distract myself from things I prefer to do compared to what I actually should do. Don't do that, buddy. Take care of things immediately. Weeds in particular. A couple of days later, your grandpa even noticed them from afar and called me out on my laziness. He was right, of course. No argument here. Being the great guy that he is, he talked to a friend of his and he lent me his field sprayer. Didn't even want something in return. Just said, we'd probably meet again. Those farmer folk are nice, aren't they? So, once again, your grandpa saved me from my laziness and my mistakes. There have been more since I've lived here. If you want to hear more of my little misdeeds, I think I can make you happy. Another time, though. Know what some farmers have their eyes on? The biogas plant.
Haha.
Sure, you can simply visit the plant to sell resources, but apparently a lot of farmers swear on investing in one, buy it even. I mean, if you run an operation that allows you to convert a lot of organic byproducts into energy, that can make sense, I suppose. It's sustainable, and the more profitable, efficient, and eco-friendly, the better, right?
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and, well, let's go ahead and jump out of that. That's enough interesting conversation for tonight with this fella. So let's go back to that menu and let's see what other NPC we got over here. I think we'll do one more because this is just exciting stuff. Sarcasm included, but we'll go over here and see. This was the Noah fella he was talking about, so let's go at him. So obviously this is your lumberjack tutorial guy, your woodwork
Let's change
tutorial
that.
person.
My name is Noah. I am a 45-year-old male. My hair is red. I like licorice. You want to know more? Then I will comply with your request. Well, my father Harold is a retired carpenter. He built a successful carpentry business focused on chairs. He did many other things as well, but chairs were his favorite. That's why he called his carpentry company Charismatic Woodwork. Yes, exactly. A pun as a company name. That's him, a jokester through and through, and he always wanted me to step into his shoes. But as you grow up, you start to develop your own interests. and do not necessarily share a knack for unnecessary amounts of wordplay. I'd rather provide the raw wood itself. That's why I'm a lumberjack, doing the lumbering. There are so many factors to keep in mind before you can even start thinking about carving something after the wood harvest. Type of wood, its quality, age, moisture levels. Being a lumberjack, I start the process even earlier than the usual wood carver. I plant the trees. I have to think about the quality of the soil, the climate, the forest composition, etc. Tending to trees is akin to conducting an orchestra. Achieving harmony is essential to creating a symphony of beauty in every little masterpiece. I am the conductor. My family is just playing some out-of-tune trumpets, if you know what I mean. I profusely apologize if this is perceived as hostile. They are good people, skilled, but I think puns and basswood are holding them back. To continue the story, however, lucky me, my sister Melissa took over his workshop. She is quite the skilled carpenter, always wanted to work in his wood shop, and so our father granted her wish. I never really got into carpentry the way my father and sister did, but I do in fact like carving wooden figurines. Both my sister and I have a talent for wood carving. The moment we were able to handle a wood carving knife, we were competing to carve the most elaborate figurines. It's still up for debate which of us is more proficient at wood carving. She primarily uses basswood. If you ask me, that's enough to end the debate right here. She used to live in Silver Run Forest. Her figurines are quite popular over there. She still holds that over my head.
So there's your tie-in to Farming Simulator 22, the Silver Run Forest map.
I think a lot of words were
than
said
expected.
now. As I have to proceed with my business, I wish you farewell. You visit quite often, don't you? Why?
Alright, so you can select, can you
You're in
explain
luck.
forestry?
I can help you, and I will too.
And then you get all the different options there, how to grow trees, how to cut down trees, wood chips, tree markings, sprays and signs, winches and yarders, transport, so on and so forth. Not going to go through those right now because we want to get into something a little more meaty, if you will.
What is up, fellow resident?
Looks like you can also hit him up for contracts. Yeah,
There
asking
are
can you
indeed
lend a
things
hand.
to do. I'd appreciate you doing the things.
Okay, so you can get deadwood contracts, rock crusher contracts, and tree transport contracts. Alright, so that's all we got there. And I think that's all of the NPCs that are on the map. We've talked, yeah. Yeah. And I know a lot of people were complaining online about all of that, but I actually think that's kind of cool. It's definitely something different from what you're used to in the Farming Simulator games. And I like it. I don't see why it's such a hated feature so much. I mean, it's just another path to tutorials, and that was one of my, if you watched my series before, you know that was one of my complaints about the game, is that sometimes the assistive content and tutorials leave much to be desired. So that's definitely a lot of steps in the right direction, you know. All right, so I think from here we're just gonna hop in and try running some contracts. Let's go ahead and work on increasing our account balance before we start buying farms and equipment and doing some other things here. I know we already own some fields, so there's definitely, we can work our fields. I also want to make sure that we do that as well. So, in fact, before we say we're going to jump into contracts, let's assess what we already own here. So, we're at the main farm. And we have a petrol tank on our main farm. We have a farmer's kiosk. Do we own that though? How do I? I'm not sure how I see what we own versus what is game settings. So that's settings menu. No, so it was. I think it would still be at this point. I'm just not so position. And so this is how you get through your filters menu. Basically, these are your filters. Here we go. Farmland. So it's here now. So farmland shows what property I own. You can see where it says black is unowned. It's green is currently selected, and then you got a lighter green that signifies my farm. And if you're looking here, you can kind of see that green and you see what we own. We own basically this area here. We own field 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we got a little forestry area there. Over here we got a couple of pieces of equipment. It looks like that's the farmland 2. We have let's see if I can highlight it here. Probably, because I got to hit it right on the nose. But that's one piece of equipment there. I don't know what that is. But over here we have I guess I have to do that from a different screen. Alright, but that shows us the farmland. So we got to go, if we go back out of that and go back up to the menu, create job, active workers, crop types. I don't know what menu do we have to be in. Oh, here we go. So here you can see our harvester, our MF for Massey Ferguson 8570 harvester, and then what's this piece of equipment here? That's the harvester trailer there. Alright, so that's our cow pasture. So we just start with a cow pasture, and we've got a few things here. They are too close together, but apparently we own a beehive starting out. So that's interesting. Alright, and there's our farm silos. And there's our farmhouse, and now all of those are all on the areas that we own. And we're growing. Let's go. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to do these menus because they're a bit not intuitive now, because I haven't been running this game that much to get used to what the new layout for the menus are. Alright, so we want to go to the crop types menu, and this will show us what crop types are on the map. And so when we go here, and then we're staying focused on the farm and the property that we own, you can see we have fields that have different crop types on them. On field 2, it looks like that looks like wheat, I want to say. Yeah, that's wheat. On field 3, we have canola. On field 5, we have canola. Field 4 appears to be that we don't have anything on field 4. Now, alright, we have a planter. We have a cultivator. What else do we have as far as our own equipment? Let's see, do we have a screen where we can go through and see our own equipment? Let's try doing it this way. Vehicles. Alright, vehicles. Is there a separation for owned equipment? I don't see it here. Mods and DLCs. Others, animal dealer. Alright, vehicles. Okay, this shows us our own equipment out. this screen shows us our own equipment here, but I don't know if we go prices, that's something different. That's our prices menu for materials that we want to sell or buy. All right, this is our vehicle. Not, I guess we would call it your maintenance screen, although it's not here. It's just where you can track the maintenance levels of your vehicles, age, what condition they're in. If you're leasing, you'll see a leasing cost in the leasing cost column, and of course the overall value of the vehicle, and that's going to be impacted by vehicle wear and tear. All right, and next we got hand tools. Not sure about that one yet. And then the finances screen. And that's your financial for all of your farming related business that you do in game. And then we have the statistics screen. Alright, so it does not appear that we, at least I don't know, I haven't discovered it yet, the quick way to view what our own vehicles are without jumping through hoops in a couple of different menus. You kind of see it here, but I liked how it was laid out in previous Farming Simulator games where you can kind of see your own vehicles at a glance. I know it has to be here somewhere. It must be hiding under another menu, but it's already proven to be counterintuitive here. Wardrobe. Yeah. Again, you go vehicles here, and that's not it. That's not what we're looking for here. And I thought it would be hidden in the shop menu somewhere. But it's not. We got mods and DLCs. We got used vehicles. And we have packs. And then we have a vehicle stream. And this is where you can, of course, buy and sell whatever is installed in a game. And then it's just sort your different brands. Alright, so where are we? We want to go. Let's go ahead and back out of here. But I guess since we're here, we'll take a look at the used vehicles, see if we have anything interesting there. We have a couple of things, but we don't have much of a bank balance, so we're not going to do much shopping here. But we're trying to see all the vehicles that we own. So I guess we'll have to do it from this screen and just make the selection of vehicles. And so we got the Challenger MT635 tractor. We are on a trailer, FarmTech EDK 650. We got I don't know if that's a planter or a seeder, but we have the Great Plains solid stand 1500. Another tractor, we have the John Deere 3650. We have the John Deere 980 cultivator. And of course our harvester is the Massey Ferguson MF 8570. Then the header for the MF 8570, and then the trailer for the MF 8570. So if we're going to be working contracts, that means we're going to be borrowing vehicles in order to work those contracts. So with that information in mind, we're going to hop back over to the contract screen, and we're going to kind of, let's scroll through to see what we want to try to pick up first. Kind of bouncing around. We want to try to make much money as we can, but I also don't want to be stuck doing something that's going to take up the entirety of our live stream tonight, where we're only kind of doing this one thing. That may be something that I do off camera, because we got a nice little lucrative wood transport contract here. We have to haul. Actually, we will kind of go ahead and do that though. No. We'll end on that note. But we had a wood transport contract where we got to transport 19 trees over to the paper factory. And if we borrow lease equipment, we'll get a couple of pieces of equipment. We get a tractor and a trailer for carrying our logs. The tractor has a my brain is kind of messing with me now, whatever you call it, but it has a device for picking up the wood. I guess we can call it like a crane of sorts, but it has a crane built into it for picking up the wood and loading it into the trailer. That can be tricky to operate at times. It takes a lot of practice to get familiar with the controls, and especially learning how to do it on console. I've been playing these games for a few years now, so my skills at that are quite pretty decent. But if you're new to the game, trust me when I say it's going to be one of the most challenging things you've done in gaming. So we'll come back to that wood transport contract. So outside of that, what's the most lucrative contract we have? It looks like we have a hoeing or a mowing contract. Looks like we might want to tag the hoeing contract first. Where was that at? We have a couple there that pay $9,000 each. So I think we'll go with one of those first, because those should be fairly quick. We're going to borrow items for this. Even though we own equipment, I don't want to burn through our equipment that we have on the main farm, and reducing their life cycle, or excuse me, their machine hours. I'd rather have less machine hours on our own equipment. And extra machine hours, of course, lead to more wear and tear, and then more repairs. But you know, that's kind of the circle of life. You just don't want to be doing it needlessly. Alright, so we picked up that new hoeing contract, did we? Alright. So now it appears in the active column. And we just need to, right now you can see the details on the contract where Walter, this contract falls under Walter. So the contracts are associated with the NPCs, it appears. We want to remove small weeds in the field using a hoe. Lease cost is $600. Field is 76. Size of field, the field in the contract, field 76 is 13.09 acres, and the contract reward is $9,534. So let's go ahead and bounce over to the contract equipment. And here we go. You have the weight, tractor, and the hoe. We're going to go ahead and attach it. And we get a warning message about this vehicle tool being reserved for contract work. Is that not what we're doing here, bud? Alright, and that's 76. Where is 76? Okay, it is tagged. Now where am I? Alright, so I should just be able to go this way. Alright, there's the main road, so where are we going from here? Trying to remember how to turn on the beacons. Why? Alright, control recruit. Alright, I gotta go through the controls at some point, because right now I don't know how to turn on my beacon lights. That's kind of bugging me. I'm trying to remember what the key combination was for that. I thought it was hold down the left trigger, right bumper, left bumper, right bumper, and up on the joypad, but that's bringing me to radio now. I don't know. That's a fix. Alright, let me detach this for a second. Still the same things. That's going to be the radio every time. And when the trigger is the speed controls. Okay. I don't know. Alright, looking at the map, I don't want to waste too much time on that. I know it's something simple and probably silly, but it's not getting it right now. We just should be able to just follow this road right to where we need to go for the contract. Alright, so we're just gonna make the drive here, and there's the lumber company. Just kind of admire some of the new sights and sights here on this map. And again, we're on the Riverbend. I don't know, my apology, I didn't start there, but we're playing Farming Simulator 25. We're on the, I didn't identify earlier what map we're playing on. We're on the Riverbend Springs map, which is one of 3 base game maps in Farming Simulator 25. Alright, it's going to take us a little bit to drive to the contract location, but we'll get there. You see the traffic's passing by me like I'm standing still. Because I'm in a tractor, so in effect I am. Alright, looks like we're riding adjacent to 76, so let's circle back around. Alright, so this is the world famous Field 76. Go ahead and unfold our equipment. Alright, I'm fading in and out here. Let me get this equipment on track. Alright, so we can lower weeder, and then we can start weeding. Alright, I don't think we need to turn it on or anything. Just kind of drag through it. Alright, and one thing I wanted to look at real quick here. Let's go back into that filters menu. And I wonder if it would show me what's happening. Yeah, it actually does. So you can see the gray area here shows the area I've already worked. Can we hire a worker for this? Alright, so we hired an AI worker. I want to see if the AI worker can perform the weeding contract for me. Alright, looks like he can, although he took some weird angle. I don't know why. Alright, no. He's already doing stuff I don't like. This takes too much time when you could just get here and just do it. But why I was keen on hiring a worker is because this crop is already growing and I have no way of seeing at least what I'm seeing here now. I have no way of visually being able to see or determine what I've done. See, now we're getting there's a reason why I would like to hire a worker for this is because I struggle painting straight lines in this game. This is crazy. So I'm gonna manually kind of have to go over this field. So now if we come back over here and if we hire a worker, let's see. Yeah, worker. Well, he still goes off on his own weird behind tangent, apparently. Let's see what he does. It looks like he's already kind of doing some things here that I have to question. Alright. Alright, so the worker appears to be able to work the contract. And so, do I want to kind of leave him to his own devices and go ahead and load up another contract? I would say yes. So we're going to hop back over to the contract screen, go over from active to new, and let's see what else we can dial up. We had one other, let's do, not say that term because I don't want to get, when I upload this to YouTube, I'm probably already going to run into issues because I said the word a few times. But let's just say our weeding instead of the HOE word they got here. Alright, so I think we'll go ahead and mowing. Let's diversify a little bit. Let's take a mowing contract as well. This one's on field 84. Oh man, I messed that up. I pressed X instead of Y. We don't own a lawnmower, so I can't execute that contract. So that's the first mistake of the night. So we just lost out on that one, unfortunately. That's a big oops. So let's delve over into that, and that's going to cost me, I think. They're going to charge that back to me. Yeah, so we'll cancel on that contract. All right. But I don't have any lease equipment with that, so maybe that one won't hurt me as bad. Hopefully it'll pop back up in a little while. So we're going to do another hoeing contract, probably, or weeding contract is what I'm going to call those going forward. And then we still got that wood transport one, and that's the big one. So let's go ahead and do the weeding contract. Do borrow items. Okay. It looks like this is another solid one. This one. Go ahead and attach our weight. Pick up our weeder. And where are we off for this contract? Let's move over. You gotta tab. I hate how you have to tab all the way, scroll through everything and tab all the way to the very top to get the selection to tab over to the active tab. They need to change the mechanics on that. That's a bit tedious. Alright, but we have there. We move that off the screen because that doesn't need to be there. We had to hit collect to make it disappear completely, which we did. You see the message. So Formula 77 is our next stop. Where's 77 at on the map? Kind of the same area where we're at already, so. Make sure we're heading in the right direction here. Where am I? In a court. Oops. Thanks a lot. And of course I am not. I turned around and just made the whole map, mini map disappear. Alright, we got a lot of reckless driving going on by yours truly tonight. Alright, this field is another one of those fields with a strange shape, so let's go ahead and get a headland going. And you ask, what's a headland? Headland is a board when you basically paint a border around the outer edges of the field. Usually we do that to kind of help out workers, but it can also be useful in your manual field work processes as well. I'm going to go ahead and activate an AI worker on this contract and see how he does. And he's already done some stuff I'm not crazy about, but we're going to let him run and do his thing. Sometimes you have to know when to fight the power and when not. And let him work the field however he sees the field. But I wonder why one of them is showing my progress and the other one isn't. That's weird too. But we're on 77. Alright. So we got 2 active. The next thing we want to try to see real quick is there's been any changes to the maximum number of contracts that you can have active in at one time. And previous iterations of the Farming Simulator series, it's always been a maximum of 3. So we'll check that out real quick as well. What's our big numbers outside of that? So I think we'll go ahead and pick this. I don't know what spraying. I've never really. Oh, the spraying herbicide, or is that the best one we got on this? The spraying contract. It gives us. I want to do a baling one too. Probably at some point we'll do a spraying one first. But then if we do the spraying one, that means we got to buy materials that I don't have. We even got a harvesting one. And for those, we could actually use our harvester and save a couple of dollars. And our equipment if we want to. But starting out, usually I just like to play with the least equipment because it gets a little bit more complicated sometimes having to drive my equipment all over the map when I could just have the contract equipment spawn right at the shop and just drive right from the shop. It's usually a much shorter trip that way. Let's do a bale wrapping one just to see what that looks like here, because I don't even know what changes we have in baling from 22 versus Farming Simulator 22 versus 25. So we'll do we'll do the bale wrapping on Farmland 11, borrow items. It's already. I don't know if we need to grab any other piece of equipment. Alright, the bale wrapping contract is on Farmland 11. Excuse me. So let's check out our map view again, and Farmland 11 is just above us. What's our fastest route to get there? Looks like we just want to go straight ahead. And from there, we want to make a right, I think that is. Sure. The correct right. Alright, so we're trying to make our way to field 11. And 11 is on the other side of the railroad track here. So I'm trying to figure out how I can get there. I thought I could come that way, but I don't want to drive over that rail crossing. That looks like, okay, yeah, so we can just drive up. Let's see. Alright, so we have one worker that's finished their job. So we'll address that in just a moment. Alright, so we made our way to field 11. And this wrapping contract is something that we can't, I don't think, hire work for. Let's see. Yeah, gotta do this manually. Unfold bill wrapper. Yeah, because it's immediately taking you to create job, and that's unless you know right away, okay, that can't automate that one. Let's turn on automatic drop. So we can go ahead and spit them out and see once we have them wrapped. But that's pretty straightforward. Alright, since we're getting into a night situation, it's going to be kind of a little bit more difficult to see the bills. I don't know how this is coming through depending on where you're watching my content at, but hopefully you'll still be able to see everything. I don't normally like to play at night when I'm doing my lives, but I'm not having a lot of choice in that right now tonight. Excuse me. Well, now I just kind of see why this contract is paying so much, because it's going to take a decent amount of time to get through. We almost got this building contract wrapped up. And once again, just like last week here on a sidebar note, notice how my voice has been fine all day. I get on a live, and now all of a sudden my voice wants to start failing me. Alright. So just about got this building contract wrapped up. We'll finish up all contracts at the same time. So kind of take a look at that functionality in 2025 as well. Alright, looks like we got one more build, and then that'll kind of wrap this one up, I believe. Let's see. Alright, let's go back to our contract screen here, active workers. Alright, let's do it from here. Active, those completed. So, you want to go ahead and do collect on the holding contract. Yeah. Collect on the other holding / weeding contract. Collect. Okay. Awesome. And we completed the bill wrapping contract. We're going to hit collect on that one. Alright. So, as you can see, our balance is increased. We're up to $125,426. And if we go back to our menus and go under, where is our finances tab here now, and go to our finances, we can see how that information shows up on our financial breakdown. Well, in the month of August, and if we go down to property income, that's our profit income, our profit from equipment on our property that generates income via that existing piece of property. I'm not sure what we own that's giving us this 540. Oh, the beehives probably, but we'll take it. And we have a fuel cost of expenditure of $33. What else we got here so far this month? Harvest income is $2,464. We got wage payments for the workers, and that's up to $504 at the moment. All right, now where were we on the finance screen here? I got distracted there momentarily. Excuse me for my throat issue there. But there's our contract income. You see we have a total of $22,959 we've earned from contracts this month. And that boosts our balance just as you see the $125,426. I just wanted to kind of point that out because it's kind of see how that all comes together. And that's just what this screen does to show you that information at a glance. Alright, so next up, let's hop back over to, let me find my way. Where are we gonna go? Let's go pick up some more contracts and then we'll kind of call it a night tonight. Alright, so we're gonna go back to the contract screen. Hot tab over to new contracts. Alright, what time is it anyway? Well, it's 2000. Let's do this. Let's see what shows up. Give it another day and see what shows up. Let's bounce back over to the main farm. Where's the main farm at? Here. Oh, that's Katie. Here we go, main farm. And let's bounce on over to our farmhouse visit. And let's go ahead and rest a little bit. and see what the next day brings. And 0 to 100 to wake up is fine. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Bear with me a moment here. All right, a new day, new contracts. Oh my, the list got super short, didn't it? So I guess we are going to go ahead and pick up that wood transport one. That's the big money one now. Borrow items. Good thing about the wood transport contract though is we don't have to cut the trees in this particular scenario. We just need to make sure we move. Not really make sure, but just go to the correct location to pick up the trees. In the wood transport contracts, the trees are already pre-cut, so all we just got to do is just drive to the spot and job. Spot where we need to pick up the wood for the wood transport is straight ahead. to the wood. That's where we gotta haul the wood. Just so where do we gotta pick the wood up from? Yipes. Excuse me. Alright, so we gotta go here. So we gotta go ahead and tag that place. And see my tag. Alright, so let's zoom out. And much like I was talking about earlier, in some scenarios with these contracts, half your time is spent just trying to drive and get your equipment to the location. Just like in this case, we got a long way to go to get to the spot where the wood is at, and we got a long way to drive to drop the wood off. So definitely probably end up completing this one either off camera or at the start of the next episode. Excuse me. Really having a lot of issues getting my throat cleared lately. Alright, so just driving to the area where the logs are located that we need for the wood transport contract. And just admiring the overall look and feel of this map. It's a beautiful, beautiful map. And you can check out the graphics from 25 as well. They look better to me, in my humble opinion. The graphics in Farming Simulator 22. It's not like a huge or significantly advanced visual leap, but we're kind of reaching that point in computer game graphics, if you will, where there's the law of diminishing returns kicks in, and you're just not going to see those type of jumps in, if you will, between games. You know, we've kind of reached that space. All right. So in a way, I missed my turn there. We're gonna walk it back. I wish the GPS shows you your pathway real time, and your path resolution real time, kind of the way Grand Theft Auto does with their mission system. Alright, so we make our exit right here. And so we have to just keep checking it out every intersection. All right, there we go, straight ahead. Now we're getting somewhere. All right, this is our incline view. This here. Nothing to a tree, so we can move by that way. Alright, over here, there's the logs. Let's see, others. Alright, so this is one of those deals where you can kind of just attach and park the border. Spot. Attachments to the borders. And sorry. Traffic. There you go. Alright. Let's say I'm pretty decent frame. Or use this particular force. Or this one. Let's see. Shut it down. In and out. That's all you got. This is not going to carry that many logs, so it's really built probably too many times. Let's see. Wait. Grab 2 logs. So we're gonna slide. this is definitely a good point. One log at a time, 11.1. Starting to wheat. Tracking weight. Self-defense. Each grain, you gotta kind of play around with it, find out strengths. This is hard. Let's see what this one is. We got a log over here. We got a mine. Definitely use the blade to push around logs needed, so that's here. And that is just kind of messing logs. You can see already the size. Stop up for a second and we can kind of admire our work. But that's where we're at. We're kind of coming up on the end of tonight's episode. I want to thank everyone for tuning in and checking me out. You've been tuning in to another episode of Jose Gaming live on Twitch. So 55 base game edition. The other edition right out. Base game. Just me. Base game. So not a ton of things out there. But believe me, they'll be coming. But I'm Bose831 Gaming on most of your social media platforms, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, so on and so forth. You're running across my content. Like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you like, let me know what you love. In either case, let me know. The episodes of my Twitch live stream series will be uploaded to my YouTube channel, typically in their entirety. And if that's what you're running across my content, give a like, and subscribe there. Say thanks to everyone for tuning in out tonight. Come back and see what else we have in store. Same going. Get out the content for you. Play a few other games. WWE 2K24. I got some other games I'm planning on dropping some content for in the not too distant future, probably including Unlimited. 5 out here tonight. We'll be dropping some stuff in that game too. So stay tuned to my channel. Some content. woodpecker. Logs going to carry me on this one. Alright, we're up to the end of tonight's episode. Again, once again, check me out. Like, subscribe, and like.